Welcome to this webinar. I'm Fiona Goddard, the Senior Education Consultant at Whizz Education. I'm a former primary teacher, currently a maths consultant, but most importantly, I'm a parent. And today I'm going to share with you some of the best online options for home learning. Now, you don't need me to tell you that this is a critical period for your child's education with everything that's going on at the moment. So today we're going to help you through the maze of maths choices available to you online to support your child with their learning. We will look at how to choose the best online maths options, and we're going to share with you our top 10 recommended maths websites to trial. And then to conclude, we'll explore your next steps to support you in this process. Now, we're amidst a lot of uncertainty, and this leaves us as parents with many concerns about our children's education at the moment. So with home learning continuing, there are many questions racing around in our heads, including, am I doing enough as a parent at home? How much learning loss will my child have due to the extended period out of school? Now, as we know, everybody learns differently and each child has their own unique needs. Now, we have the benefit of a wealth of great options for online maths to support home learning. But what might be right for one child may not be right for another. And it can be overwhelming when you Google the vast amount of websites. You know, there's even that question of what do I actually type in to Google, first of all. So there are lots of websites offering different things, and this is where we need to be focused. So whatever you're doing or looking for or trying to achieve with your child, there's a program for it. So the question is, how do we sift through, as a parent, all of this? Now, I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes helping you find the best options for your child, so you don't need to spend hours trawling through the internet for resources. But first of all, you need to ask yourself a question. What am I trying to achieve with these online resources for my child? Now, I've put together 10 recommendations based on a rubric that you can see in front of you now, with 4 key areas to consider supporting you in your decision making. So are you looking for engagement to keep your child on their toes? Reinforcement to support your child's pre-existing schoolwork? Enrichment to get them creative or to challenge them to problem solve? Or are you looking for a more bespoke, individualized approach with a tutor to keep them on track to try and minimize any potential learning loss? Now, there's not one website that's going to cover all of these areas and needs. But all the 10 recommendations I'm going to share with you are not mutually exclusive. So they will complement each other and they will supplement the work that you're doing with home learning. Because we all have the same goal, and that is to build a child's confidence and ability so that they can progress successfully with their maths learning. So the first one in this rubric is engagement, and there'll be many reasons why you want to get your child engaged in mathematical activities. It might be they have poor concentration, they have a lot of anxieties around maths, or it might be on the flip side that they really enjoy those dynamic maths games, persevering to beat scores that they've achieved, or even to try and get to that next level. Or it might be simply you just want to make maths more fun. Whatever the reason, these 3 websites I'm going to recommend in this category are definitely fun, interactive, and creative. So here we go. Number 1 is Maths Frame. Now, this is a site that has interactive games that are linked to the curriculum, so your child can practice and have fun with maths. Our second recommendation is Times Table Rockstars, and this is just daily times table practice, but it does have an amusing musical element to it. I'll let you explore that one. And our third one is Wild Maths. Now, this is a collection of mathematical games, activities, and stories, encouraging your child to think creatively. Now, let's move on from the fun and games to the planned lessons in our second category, focusing on reinforcement. Now, this may have already been provided by your school, but here it's about reinforcing learning that's already been taught to your child at school. And it's about keeping their skills and knowledge simmering. So these next 3 recommendations will certainly keep your child occupied. So our fourth recommendation is BBC Bite Size. Now, I'm sure many of you have already seen this, and your child may even have completed some of our Maths-Whizz activities, as we've partnered with the BBC to support them with some of their content. Now, this goes from year 1 to 10, and they are just daily maths lessons on specific learning objectives. Our fifth recommendation is IXL. Now, these are curriculum skills-based activities to keep those skills simmering. And if you can see the screenshot there, they're very short and focused. And our sixth recommendation is White Rose Home Learning. And once again, this delivers 5 lessons a week to support the learning that your child is doing at home. Now, with all this mathematical knowledge, children need opportunities to apply what they know in different contexts. So this is what our third category offers, enrichment. Now, these websites offer rich and challenging activities to make your child think deeper, and it gives them opportunities to problem solve. So let's move on to our seventh recommendation, and this is Enrich. Now, this provides a collection of activities that will really stretch your child's problem solving and reasoning skills. And there are even some live problems where your child will be encouraged to submit their solution. And, that's quite nice because it gives all that hard work some purpose, and you might even have the reward of it being published on their website. Our eighth recommendation is Transum. Now, this, once again, just provides mathematical activities, problems, challenges, investigations that will challenge and stretch your child. Now, with this category, I would suggest that you make it a regular activity and think about sometimes matching it to what they're studying with their home learning or what you're using in the reinforcement category of this rubric. So to complete our rubric, we're going to look at those services that can provide a tutoring journey, delivering to the unique needs and pace of your child. Now, there are 2 options here. So our 9th recommendation is Tutorful. Now, this provides private tutors for home tuition, and this can be done one-to-one or online, and it will be bespoke to your child and your requirements. Finally, number 10 in our recommendation is our very own Maths-Whizz, which is where I work. Now, this is a virtual tutor and it can be accessed on any device, and it behaves like a human tutor. The tutor will identify and address gaps and give feedback, just as a private tutor would. Now, the Maths-Whizz tutor will create a tailored learning journey matched to your child's ability. It will boost their confidence as your child learns, and the tutor will adapt the learning journey, targeting those knowledge gaps. So why would you want your child to have an individualized learning experience? Well, simple. It's because every child is different. So let's take a look at the learning profile of a child who is using a virtual tutor. Now, this is a real child, and we have permission to share this, but you can see here we have all the maths topics down the side. And each of these red lines here, they show where the child was placed in their initial assessment for each topic. And you can see we have some strengths and we have some weaknesses. Now, your child will have their own unique set of learning needs, and their profile will differ to this. But what the tutor does is it automatically selects lessons that are tailored to each child's specific needs. So here we can see that this child will get more attention in place value. Now, the important part to focus on are these blue bars here, because it shows us how much they have progressed. And you can see that the tutor is weighting the lessons towards those topics the child needs the most attention in. And the areas of concern, now, if we have a look here, whilst this child has been on the virtual tutor, the areas of concern have now been dealt with by the tutor, and the child doesn't have any barriers now. They have a much more rounded profile, so they can confidently continue to move forward with their maths learning. Now, our data shows us that when a child consistently spends the recommended 60 minutes a week on Maths-Whizz, they will increase their maths age on average by at least 18 months in the first year. Now, that is amazing gains. I think you'll agree with me there. So hopefully now you are feeling genuinely excited about using our rubric and exploring these websites further. So, what are the next steps? Use our rubric with the 4 categories: engagement, reinforcement, enrichment, and individualise to help you decide what you want your child to achieve with the online maths options available. Now, doing this will help to manage and maximise your child's screen time. And as a starting point, look at our top 10 recommendations in more detail. I promise you, you'll be so intrigued that you will be actually doing the activities before you even know it. I know I did. So have a look, please. Now, there are many more websites, and I've not mentioned every single possibility, but they all vary as to whether they're free or they have a paid subscription. And remember that many websites offer a trial period. So at Maths-Whizz, we do exactly that. So I urge you to sign up for our 7-day trial. And let's face it, you've got absolutely nothing to lose and lots to gain. So whatever online resources you decide for your child, we're all aiming for the same goal. We want children who are confident and good mathematicians with a love of maths. Now, I hope you found this useful, and please don't worry if you haven't made any notes, as we'll be emailing all this information to you. So I'm just going to say thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you spending time with me, and we now have a chance to answer any questions that you have. So thank you so much.